All right, way too busy to answer Facebook questions by board, so I'm going to do it now. I'm reading and I'm going to explain. Q&A, see, question and answer, it's unbelievable. Declan, I'm just wondering, are you the real boss, Rutten? Because if you can give me some tips, I got a kickboxing match tomorrow. It's my very first one. I'm very nervous. Everybody's nervous, so will you be your opponent. So don't worry about it. What you need to do is keep everything simple, very simple. Keep looking, stay relaxed, just move back. The first minute, move back. Let him come so you feel his reach. And once you have his reach a little bit, just focus on the jaw. Focus, because in the beginning, it's going to be very hard to focus. Everybody's going to scream. There's going to be a lot of commotion going on, and then you forget to focus. Just tune in on him, and just focus on the jaw. And if you see the point, back, go right at the jaw, and that should do it. Make sure you push off on your back foot, because that with a straight punch will give you a lot of power. And stay calm. Now, staying calm is the hardest thing to do. But, you know, if you focus and relax and move in the beginning, move away from him, let him attack, let him attack. A minute is a long time for somebody to attack you. Just relax. Keep moving backwards so you start feeling his reach, and then you're going to start fighting once you feel comfortable. Godspeed. Manolis. Okay, Manolis sent me another music track. Thank you, Manolis. And another Manolis, and another Manolis, and another Manolis. And now, thank you, Manolis. Oh, Craig Mackland. Yes. Oh, another example of boss being awesome. You guys got to check that video out. It's I saw my own leg. I will post it again. It's pretty hilarious. Okay, another instance process prove the man. Oh, this is all about the stitches. It's very funny. I knew there was going to be a hit. I don't know if it was a smart thing to share, but I thought, hey, I cut it. I edited a lot. Josh Charlin. Hey, boss, fan of yours. Thank you for being awesome. What kind of work would you have done if you wouldn't have been an MMA lord? Oh. How did you get into training in MMA, and what would you say to someone who is physically not confident but wants to begin training? Okay, first one. I think that I would have been maybe a DJ or something like that. I always liked really to mix music, or otherwise I would have tried to make video editing. I always like to do video editing, you know, and see if you like a movie trailer or something, cool stuff like that. How did I get into MMA? Well, I was very young. It's on my Wikipedia page. Please read the Wikipedia page because it's a long story. Then you know exactly how I started, why I started, you know, going to Japan, the whole 9 yards, everything you can find there. What would you say to someone who isn't physically confident but wants to begin training? Well, that's why you want to train. Once you start training, you will become physically confident, you know, and it's hard for 2 weeks. You got to bite through 2 weeks. Once you did 2 weeks, it became a habit. It's very simple. Everything in life is habits, are habits. I explained it to the kids on 2000 Oaks High School. If you wake up in the morning, I say, how many of you hit the snooze button? And they do that at least 3 more times, and more than half the fingers went up. The hands went up. And I said, you know what, it's a very simple thing to break. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, you hit the snooze button, you get up. You do that for just 1 week, and then you broke the habit. You're already doing it, and you don't know what to do else anymore. So that's the same thing here. You feel not confident, you have to work on that. Otherwise, you will never be confident. Very simple. So start training, you know, good food, make you relax, and just start training. You're feeling great, bada bing, bada boom, gonna be confident. Okay, short clip of my power training workout on the back with your voice. I'm going to do that a little bit later. Jonathan Rivas. He wants to purchase a BOSS, the Body Action System Deluxe model. Fixed military budget. Do you offer any military discount on your products? Please contact those people on the website. They're very easy to work with. And the Body Action System is actually a really tough thing. You know, I broke mine now, and that is after 6 years, which was the prototype. The head, now foam comes out, body is still intact, everything is still intact. So that's after 6 years really beating, and I kick the head. You know, now if you kick the head, make sure you use technique. Have these crazy dumb guys who call me and say, oh, I broke the bus, but then when you see him kick, they drag the whole kick behind the neck, you know, where the spring is. Yeah, of course you're going to break it. You know, you need technique to make a kick. Kick, boof, the head, like you would normally do, and that's a good thing. It won't break. All right, next, Does Blitzen. Hey boss, I don't know if you're going to see this or not. You're a very busy man. Private messages say this stuff. Facebook doesn't seem to want to let me do it. I don't do private messages anymore. I mean, they start racking up, and I simply couldn't do it anymore. It was too much. Suddenly, sometimes I had like 99 messages in one day, and you know, if I wouldn't answer right away, it would totally drive me nuts. Yeah, I know he talks about War Machine. People focus on that. People always focus, the media always focus on the bad things. They never focus on the good things. Good thing though, that before we had the guy in Houston who I interviewed actually on Inside MMA who beat up those robbers, you know, and that's a good example of an MMA fighter. But of course, you know, it's the same thing in Holland. A fight breaks out. If that too by accident happens at the kickboxing event, oh, it's all kickboxing, its fault. You know, in Holland, soccer, football. I mean, they need security up the ass there. It's insane. I mean, SWAT, everything is out there. Some teams where they gonna compete to each other. It's very hard to control that those crazy guys. That is all good because it brings in a lot of money. But yet, if it has to do a little bit with fighting, then of course it's wrong. It's a shame, but that's what media does, focusing on the bad stuff. And that's actually what everybody does. If you didn't hear a long time from a friend of yours, you always start thinking, maybe I did something wrong, right? I mean, 90% of the time, and then you find out pretty much 99% of the time that you're always wrong. People, I always say no news is good news. If it would be bad news and he's a good friend, he would simply tell you, hey, something is wrong. Access TV, the best color guys in the biz. Yay, Brian Taffy. Thank you very much. Steve Tweed. Why do you call a salt shaker running with a butter knife? What do you call a salt shaker running with a butter knife? Assault with a deadly weapon. Ah, that's a good one. I like it. You're kind of fun to watch on Inside MMA. You're like a big teddy bear that can whoop my ass. You have a funny personality. That is Chris Hartfeld. Thank you very much. Felt it from the heart. Boss, a couple of weeks ago. Oh, that's your wife at the airport. I see right away the cup. Yeah. She was looking at me and I go, oh, something's wrong. She says, oh my God, are you Boss Rutten? Can you get an autograph? And I see the cup here. Jason Moore. Yes. She was very nice. Very nice. Like a boss, Vince Brown. Godspeed, party on. Manolis. Thank you very much every time for the videos, but they're too long, buddy. I told you many times, everything you send to me, keep it very short. Can't watch 15-minute videos. I have no time. Otherwise, I wouldn't even do this right now. I'm busy. 7 minutes and 14 seconds. Okay, next question. Boss Rutten on YouTube. That's the official Boss Rutten. You got to check it out, guys. If you can like it, that would be great. Gustafsson, Matt, get back in line. Daniel Cormier, Alex Gustafsson wants his rightful shot at John Jones. I didn't read that piece. Manolis. Okay. Why is there a video of Boss Rutten shooting a gun? Everybody knows that if you pull out a gun, Boss Rutten will use palm strikes to deflect the shot into your liver. You know what? Actually, my father thought I was the dumbest guy ever. You know, well, not really, but he said, you're that kind of guy that when somebody pulls out a gun that you say, okay, shoot, I can flex my abs and the bullet's gonna bling off. I'm not that stupid. Trust me on that. Now, if a gun is close by, gun's very dangerous. I'd rather not be in a gunfight. Thankfully, I've never been in a gunfight. But you don't need a gun for a terrorist. All you need to do is go liver shot for the pills. Thank you for being an awesome dude. That is Daniel Brown. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much. Godspeed. And party on. Manolis. Bosco Sarik. When you going to come down under? I just said bye-bye to a good friend of a family here, Anna Dunn. And she's coming back to Australia. She's Australian, going back over there. She's going to Brisbane. I think first to Melbourne. And she's going to leave tonight, actually. We just said goodbye. If I do come to down under to Australia, then I for sure will let you know here, guys, on Facebook. Okay, Andrew Epps. Sorry to bother you, but there's a misconception on my end. When I throw a hook, should my pinky be parallel with the ground or vertical with my opponent? Oh, that's up to you. Some people like to do it like this, and some people like to do it like this. I like this. I feel much stronger in my fist. This, I always hurt my hand. Plus, if you hit with these last two bones, these two here, you might break your hand, you know, if you hit the skull. So if you got wrong technique or a little bit of wrong aim, it don't even have to be a little aim. As soon as they come here and the guy ducks and you hit the skull, if you hit it with a little pinky, you might break it. A lot of Eastern countries, you know, like Poland, those countries, and the Russians, they all like to punch like this. Many of them. Many others punch like this. With me now, because my wrist is so tight, it's a little bit in the middle. So it's not really this here, because I have to bring my shoulder up. It's like in the middle. That feels really good. Just hit with the two bones, and that will do the trick. So it's up to you. Just hit it back. Whatever you make sure, I always say this. If you see somebody shadow boxing like this, like the dumbest thing you can do. If you hit somebody here, see, there's nothing that can push in the power to the head. So you have to make sure that you keep your elbow behind your hand. A little lower, you can still do that. This is going to be very hard. Plus again, you might break your hand, you might even dislocate your shoulder if you do it too crazy, of course. Bruce Lee, knowledge will give you power, but character, respect. And that is absolutely true. Bruce Lee is always the best. Brian Taffy, you're always right with those kind of things. Brian Taffy, another one. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the ability to act in the presence of fear. Yeah, that's the thing, you know. People always say, oh, you're not scared in a street fight. Oh, dude, I am scared. I know that once something happens, then I get okay. And I trust that feeling. And in fighting, I had that, you know, always when I thought, you know, oh God, this is going to be a tough fight, I would just focus on the moment the bell goes, because then I know that I'm in this little, my own world. I can hear everybody. I focus on their corner. I focus, you know, it's a weird thing, but I trust it. And every time I trust it, it goes good. But don't think I'm not afraid. Of course I'm afraid. Somebody pulls a knife. Of course. I'm not a happy guy. Hey boss, I was trying the video where you knee bar on a guy who was still standing on YouTube. Couldn't find it. Which fight was that against it? It was against Maury Smith. My second fight against Maury Smith, I believe. It will come on YouTube. Every day we're uploading a fight. That's for this month. So that means that after a month, I think it's 33 fights. Maybe we cannot give the okay from the UFC. We have highlights from the UFC. They already gave me the okay for that. But I don't know if it's okay for us to post. We tried it and they took us off right away. But we didn't show the finishes. So it's an edited version. All the Pankers fights will be there. I'm still looking for my last fight. I got to call Dana for that because he owns the WFA right now. Hopefully he can give me the rights to that fight. That would be awesome. Wesley Scott, dear Mr. Rutten, I hope you're doing fine. I have a question for you, and I hope you reply. When you trained in Holland, which sport clubs did you train with? Thanks, Francie. Okay, Mengho Breda, with Cor Hammers at the time, Ramon Dekkers, who passed away way too early to us, the great Ramon Dekkers. That was the reason I went to their gym, because he's just the man. I always said this for the last 20, 25 years. Best pound Thai boxer ever. You know, there were fights that he lost. Most of the time, those fights, he had like a broken ankle, broken hand. You know, this guy was just nuts. He just always fought. It didn't really matter if something was broken. So, yeah, that was pretty impressive. So, Mengho, that was a great gym. But you have more great gyms in Holland right now, of course. You know, you got Vos Gym, still good, with Ernesto Hoest. Shakariki, Peter Utz is back, I heard, Shakariki. Okay, I'm going to just do one more minute, and I'm going to do a next video a little bit later on. Manolis, I see here, Manolis, a picture of me with Sean Tompkins. This was at this wedding. This was so sad because we saw the picture and then and a year and a half later, I had to go back, but that was for the funeral. So that was very sad. He left us way too early. That was last week. I just talked to his mother today. I call her a couple of times a year, you know, to keep updated. I actually will be in Canada this weekend for the Sean Tompkins golf tournament memorial. So look that up, just Google that, you get all the info, and if you come over there, we have dinner together, we eat together, like lunch together, you know, and then we play golf, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, Jeff Mackins, boss with commentating on his own fights, how cool is that? Yeah, you know, because I thought then I can really let you know what I was thinking at that moment, and every time when I tell you, watch what I do now, and you see me putting a bait out, like a foot out, you know, on purpose, and I hope that with Frank Shamrock, he gives me inside low kick. And then I realized, wait a minute, do that again. And you see me making a big step forward and I give him my leg. And he takes the bait. He goes for an inside low kick and right away I make a switch kick and kick him to the head. You see little things like that. And when I talk through it, you see me actually doing those things. So it's very important for a fighter to think all the time when he's fighting. And I have a lot of people commentating, giving me comments on that, compliments on that, because they say, hey man, I learn even more than watching an instructional. Okay, James Michael Can, how's Boss Rutten? Not in the Expendables movie yet. I don't know. Bertoni Lee, love your YouTube channel. Weightlifting weekly program for MMA fighters. He's asking for that. You know, I'm so today I had this new guy in our gym, Cameron, who's a private coach, and he's going to all repair me. And he was talking about how I used to train. I said well, I was a very simple trainer. You know, if I did dips, why? Because I can push somebody's head down when he tries to take me down. You know, everything, pull-ups and biceps, for arm bars, and I can have more strength so I can curl out. You know, every little thing that I did, I was punching like this, so I would push-ups like this, and I would bank press like this with the elbows inside, because that's how you punch. You don't punch like this. This is using your chest, this is using your triceps. So everything I did was for chokes, pulling high. I didn't pull here, I pulled high, because then I was getting used to putting lactic acid in my muscle. So I never really cared about how I would look you know, I got to train shoulders. No, if I didn't need shoulders for fighting, I didn't train shoulders. See what I mean? So nowadays they're way better with that. You have to ask a specialist. They're way better with that. It's so advanced right now. I just did everything hard and a lot, like 25 times at least every repetition, and with a lot of weight. People go like, "Oh, you use lightweight." No. I did 30 repetitions with 80 kilograms. Now it's 190 pounds or something like that. You know, so and then you get used to that. And I would take 10 exercises. Every exercise is a pushing exercise. The next one is a pulling exercise. Every one I would try to do for 50 seconds, 50, and I had 1 minute to go to the next exercise. For instance, bench press and then pulling on the chest, and dips and pull-ups, and biceps and triceps. And in between I did on abs and squats. And also try to do conditioning exercises of back, 50 seconds kicking your back as hard as you can. 3 kicks with the right, 3 kicks with the left. For 1 minute, as hard as you can, go back to power training again. That gets you really, really tired. 12 exercises, 1 minute break, 12 exercises, 1 minute break, one more time. So it's like a 38-minute workout, really freaking hard. People nowadays, they train too hard, I always say, or too long. You know, it's like if you do the 800 meters, why would you run 5K every day? It would be stupid. You need to train your body to throw out a lot of energy in a short amount of time. And if you do that, then you train your body for a fight. So my workouts would be coming in, stretching, and then I would go 45 minutes ballistic. You know, then again, we had guys coming in who had a fight 10 days later, and they couldn't do the warm-up. The boss would the workout, if you ever did that, with the sprawls, we did 5 rounds of that, 5 rounds of 3 minutes, and a minute break with the kettlebell swings. So, and we go. You know, I probably put 10-pound ankle weights on my hands, and I put really heavy gloves, like 20-ounce gloves, and everything I hit in the air. I don't hit the back, of course it's still a warm-up, but as hard as you can. And people go, why do you so hard? Because your body will get used to that. And slowly but surely, you get stronger and stronger. And if you can't anymore, slow it down a little bit. But slowly but surely, suddenly you can do that whole workout, that 20-minute workout, as a warm-up, and that's an insane workout, you know. So that's the way you get stronger. Just let your body get used to it. Also, another thing with training, if you guys want to do that, I do this a lot. I used to do that a lot, not now because I'm still recouping. 1 minute rounds on the back. Start like 8 weeks out, 1 minute rounds on the back, 1 minute rest. Kick as hard as you can. I came up with combinations that I would use, all the same combinations. Really good combination, head 3, and then a liver shot, a body shot. 3 hooks to the head with the left to keep the hands up, and then I keep looking at the head and I go boom, the body shot. Combinations like that, 3 hooks to the body and boom with a hook to the head. You know, so we flip it around, cross hook, cross liver, things like that. I would make drills like that for 1 minute, as hard as you can. 1 minute rest, 15 rounds. That's a half-hour workout. Now then, you do that 2 or 3 times a week. You know, and what you do the next week, you take 1 minute and 5 seconds on the back as hard as you can, and you take 55 seconds rest. And every time you take 5 seconds, you increase your work time with 5 seconds, and you decrease your resting time till you are at 1.5 minutes full power with half a minute rest. Trust me, you're going to be in shape. Don't be stupid now. Don't try 1.5 minutes, 15 rounds right away from the get-go. You will overtrain. You know, let your body gradually, slowly but surely, getting stronger, stronger, stronger. And bada bing, bada boom, you're good to go. 18 minutes, this tape is way too long. Godspeed. I will continue this with another one. Whoop.